Good morning, everyone. Speaking of stones, are we born to be bad? All the religions have their own interpretations of spiritual things, but they do share the same core belief, the belief in a higher power. One of the cornerstones of Christian beliefs is the biblical basis for original sin, the expulsion of Adam and Eve from the Garden of Eden. That's found in Genesis. It was added to Christian writings in around 1st century, despite the resistance of the Jewish clergy. It was again brought up by the St. Augustine, approved by the Roman Emperor in around year 400, and developed from there on by St. Paul. St. Augustine, the father of the Western Christianity, claimed that human beings are born from evil as a result of original sin and were no longer capable of good on their own. That was added to the Western Bible and became a belief of the majority of Christian churches. However, there are still some questions and doubts in the Christian community about the validity of this belief. From a biblical point of view, Adam and Eve were not like you and I. They were much more pure and spiritual than we are today. They were innocent. They were childlike. Was anyone expecting two childlike beings never to act out when given an infinite amount of time? That is a difficult task, given that eternity is forever. Were they expected to eat the forbidden fruit when they did not understand the right and wrong? Is innocence a cause for eternal punishment? Why make us fought for thousands of years with suffering till Jesus came, gave a final sacrifice as a way for the forgiveness of the original sin? The all-knowing God knew that Adam and Eve were going to believe the devil and fail. So why create him? Was it for the original sin, the knowledge of good and evil? Who was the origin of evil, even since the devil was created by God? Since God knew that they were going to fail, were they set up to fail? Why would Almighty God need to do that? We had two innocent beings that were easy to fool by anyone, not to mention the devil. Eve was tricked to eat the fruit since it did look edible and pleasing to the eye. Eve liked the taste and then offered to Adam, who ate it also because he wanted to please Eve, whom he was delighted to have as his new mate. Why would loving God create such a suffering and death only because two innocent beings got into cookie jar without permission? They were told to eat from any tree except from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. The question also remains that if they ate from all other trees, why is there no record of them eating from a tree of life? Jesus and the early Christian church were never known to be supportive of the idea of original sin. According to Genesis, it is not your fault that you are sinful. It appears that it is a human nature to complain, criticize, and condemn to feed the ego and to get out of trouble. Nothing has changed. We are as gullible as Adam and Eve. We eat up the stuff that the commercial preachers and gurus give out. Then we pick up the religious or political identity to support our views, whether they are true or not. They all come with blinders that will not let us learn anything that might deviate from our beliefs. We fight for it, although it's only temporary. Religions have been around as long as a man has existed and date back to thousands of years and have many similarities. Since there are many similarities, it has been accepted that early biblical writers of Genesis were aware and used stories from other areas from a Gilgamesh epic in 2100 BC to create references and contracts in the Hebrew Bible. The issue of were you born to be bad is still to be questioned. Speaking of stones, thanks for your attention. Have a colorful afternoon.